Good morning, good afternoon, YouTube, Facebook. This is Moomin Rod D. I want to start off by saying today I want to talk about the Second Amendment and why we shouldn't restrict it. Um, First of all, I'm a 4-year veteran in the military. I served the New York Army National Guard, and I never really understood why people had guns in the first place. I always thought it was a bad tool. I always thought guns are bad, you know. And growing up, listening to news and how they always demonize beings, they demonize us as the criminals all day on news and TV, and why we shouldn't bear arms because we don't know how to take care of ourselves, and we're not responsible, and this is how they talk to us as a whole, and they convinced a lot of us to give up our rights to bear arms, due to the violence that happens out in the streets. Now what I like to put out there is if guns was that bad, why did the four founding fathers, allow us to bear arms? Why? What was their reason? Well, their reason was because we'll be able to protect ourselves as citizens from foreign and domestic threats. When it comes down to that point, we may have to defend ourselves. And it even also said, even from government threats, our very own government threat, when they're threatening to take our freedoms and our liberties. So, as a child growing up, I never really understood that. So I always agreed to, ban the guns and get the guns off the street. Now that I grew up, I joined the military, I realized that is more to it. It's not just thinking that guns are bad. It's not guns that are bad. There's certain people out there that are bad. But when you think about it, most of the people out here, the citizens, are good people. Most of the citizens are good people. And giving people the right to bear arms don't mean you giving guns to everybody. Qualified people are able to carry guns. They should be able to carry guns. I mean, if you get somebody mentally disturbed or something, of course they shouldn't be able to bear arms, But at the same time, most people think that if a lot of people have guns, it'll be more violence out here in the street, which is completely false. That's not true at all. Because, like I said, most of the people in this country are good people. You have a couple people out of a bunch that's bad people. So, for example, that Colorado incident with this guy dressing up like the Joker, which seems like a stage act to me. But if everybody in that theater, not everybody, but if most of the people in that theater was armed, I guarantee you 14 people would not be dead. Now, the casualties would have been less than that. Would have been 4 to 5 people at most, because most people want to do something about public criminality, and most people want to do stuff, but they can't because they feel helpless. They feel like they can't really be of service because they don't have nothing to help with. So most of the people just ignore it and they move on. They try to get out of the way because they have nothing else to do. If somebody got a gun and I don't have a gun, I'm most likely endanger myself. So how can I protect that person and protect myself? I can't. So most people would just run away and walk away. And that's when people do not have any type of weapons to defend themselves. But if you had this guy infiltrate this movie theater, pull out a gun and start shooting, you have half the theater filled with people that actually bear arms and they actually had the arm with them. Most of them people wouldn't have ran. They would have shot back. And that man would have been dead. But no, the movie theater have nobody in there holding guns but the criminal that came in there. So this is how he was able to get at least 14 casualties before they caught him. Now, the right to bear arms will protect you. You got to understand that police cannot protect you. You know, if somebody ran into your house right now and put a gun to your head right now, and you don't have no weapon, ain't no way you have time to call the police. And if you did get a chance to call the police while this guy running ahead and trying to kill you, you know, let's say you do get a chance to call the police. They're going to take 10, 15, 30 minutes to come. You do not have time to protect yourself. But if you had an arm with you or in the area, you have a better chance of surviving. So they restrict arm. They restrict the right to bear arm for a different reason. It's not for that reason. Okay? Now, the Founding Fathers gave us this right to bear arm so we can protect ourselves, whether it's our property or protecting ourselves through self-defense. You know, because that's the best way to protect yourself. Now, think about it in a great span. The government cannot do what they used to do to us. They cannot enslave us. They can't do these things because what? We bear arm. We have the most citizens that bear arm in this country than anywhere in the world. You know, last time I checked the statistics, it was like 80 million people that bear arm. You know, and that's a huge margin compared to our government and their in the military. You know, so we're protected, and this is why they got to try to influence us to give up our weapons, so they'll be able to pretty much regulate our lives in any type of way they want. You know, so the idea is, don't give up the Second Amendment. Do not give up the Second Amendment. I'm not advocating that, you know, we give weapons to everybody, because that's just ridiculous. And anybody that's trying to fight what I'm saying, they're trying to say that just because a lot of people have guns, they just going to go out there and kill people, which is false. It's stupid. Because, listen, I know a lot of people that has access to getting guns, and they're not in the military. They're not a government official. You know, but they have access to getting guns. So regardless how it goes, the criminal is always going to find a way to get a gun. So if anybody can get, if most of the people here in this country was armed or was able to arm themselves, you know, we will be a lot more protected as people. I trust a population with arm than trust the cops, straight up. And I'm in the military, and I'm telling you this. I trust the people that bear arm, that's qualified to bear arm and have license to bear arm, before I trust the cops. They paid off by interest, foreign interest, and they're not here to subdue to your rights. I mean, they're not here to give up, you know, their rule to take over. I mean, the point is, do not let them restrict the Second Amendment of the Constitution. Do not. Do not. Our two most valuable things we need in this country is our freedom of speech and our freedom to bear arms. If freedom of speech stop working and they pursue us, we have the right to bear arms so we can protect ourselves. History repeats itself all the time. History repeats itself all the time. So please, please, please fight to keep the Second Amendment. Keep it, because it's here to protect us. Okay? It's here to protect us, especially from a tyrannical government. You know, so I'm going to sign out. With that being said, I'm going to sign out, and you can leave your comments, let me know what you think. You know, now you got to know that most people out here are good people, you know. And if they ain't got no criminal history, obviously, they're eligible to bear a gun. You know, just to go around and say just because people got guns, they're going to kill people is ridiculous. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. Just because I got a gun, I'm going to go kill people. That's ridiculous. You know, it's ridiculous. Think about what I said, and leave a comment, message, anything, and I'll get back to you if I could. If I can't, oh well, but I'll try my best, all right? So I'm signing out with that being said.